In the modern business world, change is fast becoming a byword for sustainability. Organisations with the courage to change the way they do business are safeguarding themselves for the future. For over 150 years, Scott & Fyfe has manufactured textiles from its base in Tayport near Dundee. But it had become entrenched in a few marketplaces that were showing signs of contraction. Its solution was to embark on a programme of change, working not with traditional management consultants, but with the Glasgow School of Art.
We studied a number of options. The traditional options were more based around the lean manufacturing elements, such as Six Sigma and the likes. But for us, we looked at the traditional routes as taking us down a path that everyone else was on. But we've gone from a place where Scott & Fyfe have sold the same product to the same market for over 30 years. We now live in a world where if you sell that product into that market space for 4 years, you're doing well, and 2 years is probably average. So we needed to understand far more about the external side of the world. And that's where something a bit more innovative, that's where we looked at the Glasgow School of Art to put in the design elements of it, made it far more attractive to us.
Design is at the forefront of Scott & Fyfe's new business strategy. And by design, we're not referring simply to product design. Glasgow School of Art works alongside businesses, putting in place certain mechanisms to encourage a company to think and act innovatively.
Rather than sort of the traditional view of design that people have, which is linked either to product or fashion and textiles, is what we're really using design for is as a platform to build creative collaborations, seen as really the sort of the foundations in which we start to build the capacity to innovate. So it's a very different use of design, so it's innovation through and of design.
The result of Scott & Fyfe's collaboration with the Glasgow School of Art is the implementation of a pod structure within the company and the design of a workspace to match.
Prior to the pod structure, we had one conventional board, one conventional sales team, one conventional development and production team. And basically what we did was determined further up the tree. What we now have as a series of pods is a series of micro businesses within the main business, each of the pods having focus on a particular market.
A lot of the tools that we've been using within the pod structures allowed us to really identify different product and market areas that are out there. We're away from our normal desks, where it's our normal working environment, and it's very much a creative environment to work in. So it allows us to really focus on looking at the new market areas, and if there's some areas that we don't really particularly know much about, we take actions to go away and look at separate things and come back and feed to the team, and that really helps us to gain new ideas that we can develop into different market areas.
It really allows us to get far more people on the playing field, as it were. We're sending more and more people out, we're getting greater insights, wider insights, and from then we're able to look broad and then narrow our focus in once we've done that.
It brought together different teams across the company. It allowed them to focus, because they're very good at the products that they make, to have a space in which to explore that in an open and collaborative way. And also, I think, sort of push down decision making to a more devolved level. So you saw the sort of leadership being distributed because the pods act independently, so there isn't a centralised command and control structure.
The innovation space is directly next to the factory, a juxtaposition of the new and the traditional. The freedom for creative thinking in each pod puts much greater demand on production.
The pods all have equal access to planning through production, so they have the same rights as production orders on the basis that they will be the future orders.
When we have developed products in the past, they've been developed almost in a bubble that no one else can have a look at. It was the realm of the technical person who would be able to do the trials, make a product, love it, and then see if anybody wanted it afterwards. And that's not a recipe for success. For us, we needed to go out to the marketplace, gather insights, bring those in, collate them, review them, and from there pick out the essences that will make a successful product. All that's done in the pods.
Confidence is around being able to take risks. So fail fast, fail to succeed. So this idea of failing forward. If you failed, it's the only way to innovate, and how you learn very quickly from that and recover. The other idea is perspective. So how do you get out more? So looking at the markets, looking at users, it's very clear now within the digital economy or the knowledge economy, that the sort of traditional product-focused way of operating doesn't deliver sustainable returns. What you need to be is market-focused.
To complement its new pod structure, Scott & Fyfe has simultaneously dispensed with the hierarchical structure that had underpinned it for 150 years. It's gone from being family-owned to employee-owned, helping to safeguard jobs in the Tayport area. Scott & Fyfe is an example of a company not frightened to embrace change at the expense of tradition in its pursuit of success.